Hi, it's Zane from Reese, and today I'll be teaching you how to start up your own Android atak plugin. So the first thing we're going to go to here is over to this website, and just as a side note before we start, this tutorial is already assuming you kind of know how to use Android Studio. You already kind of know how to use a physical device as an emulator, since atak kind of doesn't like that, using emulators. Uh, but other than that, it should be relatively easy. So you would go here, and on this releases page, you're gonna have to look at the latest. It'll be at the top and it'll be latest. For now it's 4605, but if you're watching this in the future, then it might be some other numbers. So you're gonna go ahead and click to download the zip. Now I've already done this a couple times, so I'll just cancel it. So once it's downloaded, you'll find something like this. I have it in a tutorial file, you'll have it in downloads or whatever, and then wherever you want, move this to whatever. I have it in tutorial, and then extract your zip out. For me, it was just as simple as right clicking, but some of you might have to open and then like hit extract, and then wherever you want to do it, depending on your operating system. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete this, and then go into the folder, go in one more. Okay, so we have a bunch of jar files. This is all describing stuff that we kind of need to build things in atak, but we shouldn't really be worried about most of this. I'll go ahead and copy plugin template, say Control C, and then I'll right click, make a new folder in here, and call it plugins. Make sure it's called this exactly, it's kind of magical. And then I'll paste the plugin template, and this is going to be our plugin, and we're going to be messing around with it. So go to Android Studio, open. Now I gotta go find this. So for you go ahead and find whatever folder you saved it in, and then you go to 4605, which you downloaded, into atak civ, into plugins, which you made, and then you'll see plugin template if you copied it exactly as I did. Hit OK. Don't be afraid if it immediately breaks. That's normally what it does. So, as expected, it immediately broke. So let's go ahead and fix that. We're going to go to build.gradle on the app level, and this is not the app level. Now where is it? There it is. So go into app and then go into this. So instead of def this, you have to do ext dot. Next, we want to click on our terminal button. If I could find it, there. And I have two commands to copy. You'll find this in the README. I'll put in the description of this video. So we're generating a debug key store and a release key store. Don't worry too much about it for now. So I just used RSA, but you can do whatever algorithm you want. Anyways, so once we've done that, you can open Android Studio, or we already have Android Studio open. I meant, where's local properties? There. And I'll just paste it. I don't need this. So, anyways, as a comment said, for paths, if you are on Mac or Linux, you're going to use the /. So for me, I'm going to replace these two with /. But if you're Windows, leave that as /. And now, since we just generated our debug key store and our release key store, we can right click, copy path reference, and I'll just use absolute path because I can't really be bothered. Okay, once you've done that, do the same for the release key store. Do absolute path again. Okay. Now that we've done that, I believe we should go to File, Project Structure. So make sure it's 422 and 691. Do not upgrade, no matter how much it begs you to upgrade. And go to SDK location. It's probably fine. I think I have an older version. Of this. 1 second. I'll go find the menu. Right, and we're back. So I would just go into, where did settings go? Right there, and then under build execution, deployment, build tools, Gradle, look into Gradle JDK, and then you need 11 for this. So installing that is version dependent based on your operating system. I'm sure you can figure out how to install Java versions. Hit OK. And OK, and then hit try again. This should work. Take a look at the build. And perfect. Now we have the Android view. So now we can switch between project and Android view, and it recognizes it as an app. So the next thing I'm going to show you is the actual atak app, APK we want. So for me, I'll go into files and we'll go back one. And you see this atak APK, we're going to need to load this on our device or whatever our testing thing is. So for me, I open up my device's thing, and it's going to be slow here, but I would basically just drag and drop it into the downloads folder, and I'll show you what that looks like right now. Right, so I have this atak APK, I downloaded some months back. I would click it, and then it would install the app, but I don't need it because I already have it, so there's that. And then you would use that atak APK, not the one on the Play Store. That is very important that you wouldn't use the one on the Play Store, the one that comes in your repo. So that's the app we're going to use to test on our standard apps on. Okay, and since it's a plugin and not an app, we have to kind of change the way we load things onto our app. So we're going to have specific build settings. So if we go into open this drag down, I think it's run configurations and then edit configurations, we'll see that we only have kind of like app. So first we're going to launch, there's no default activity, it's a plugin, so we're going to click nothing, hit apply. We'll rename this to, for clarity, let's say app new install, or if we're even smarter than that, we should probably say plugin new install. Better naming. And then top left of the window, we're gonna click copy, and then we'll have a new one. So one of these will be ran. We'll rename this to plugin reinstall. Apply that. And this will be kind of whenever we're reinstalling the plugin super fast. It'll just be useful when we're fast debugging. And we should have something in one sec. Right, so what we want to do is on plugin reinstall, not app new install or plugin new install. We go into plugin reinstall, go to before launch. We're going to add a before launch command, so that'll be running an external tool, and then add one, and then say example plugin. So for you it would be whatever plugin the name is, like cool plugin or whatever. For example plugin, whatever your project name is, you should probably name it there, and then reinstall, or yeah, whatever name works. And then our program is adb, and our argument's gonna be uninstall com dot atak map. We're just going to be stealing whatever's here. So atak map dot android dot plugin template. And if I were you, before I do this line, say I'll hit OK now, but cancel later. If you want to do your refactoring now, like change your project name so that like you can commit it to a repo or whatever, like rename to cool dash project or whatever. I'm not sure. You should do it here, and then rename like a bunch of your tools and stuff. You should probably do it here, but since I'm gonna leave it as an example, I'm gonna just use this command, and whenever you update your packages, of which shouldn't be too often after this, you'll just kind of, you'll just kind of update this command. So working directory, this should just be your projects directory, your templates or your plugins, and then I'll just paste it in for you. So this should work, and then okay, then apply, okay. So, and then I think I forgot something really quick. I think for reinstall, if you go ahead and edit this, I think you have to untick this. And then that should be it. Just make sure to unsynchronize. And that should be it. And the last thing we do before we actually test this is we're going to look at build variants. Should be in the bottom left or somewhere on the left. And then since this is on mil debug, like military debug, we're doing civilian work, so civ debug. Yeah, this will work with the civilian APK, since that's what we're testing on. So we go ahead, open our atak app. It should be right here. And then if we go into our new install, you'll see that once I run this, of course it's crashing because I had some issues earlier with another plugin I was working on. Okay, anyways, fixing that, if you hit new install, and of course it shouldn't crash on your first open, it was only crashing because I was working on something. So if I hit new install, first off the build should just straight work. One sec. And of course I've made a mistake because I just doubled onto their debug key store, and this is not a directory. Okay, and If I do it now, you gotta install anyway. It is your app, of course. And then load the plugin, atak will recognize it, and then it should just show up here. Yep, plugin template, there won't be anything here. And yeah, that's kind of it. You can now work on whatever you want. So if I were you, I would take a look, refactor this stuff. Of course, this repo will be up on GitHub. I'll send the link plus a README to all the instructions. And in the next part of the series, I'm going to change all this Java out with Kotlin, including the Gradle script that I can. So until then, if you have a project that you want to be made on atak, go ahead and contact Godfrey. His email will be put in the description, and he'd love to talk to you about what we can do for your business needs. But other than that, that should be it.